Ladies and gentlemen, so I'm going to talk about this situation with my dad. Okay, so it's funny how with my dad, when I was growing up, I never really noticed that my dad, I heard he was performing in big venues. I heard he was performing even in stadiums and building big buildings and doing all this kind of stuff. I never really put two and two together and how majestic that was or how like iconic that was or how good that was. I really didn't put two and two together. I mean, I just thought, when I was growing up, you're just like, oh, my dad did this, and you don't think much of it. You just think, well, he's creative, he's good, whatever. And my dad, if you want to find my dad on YouTube, just search 84 years young, Pond Life in the search, and you'll find him. He's 84 years old there. And then he's also, one second, he's also 78 years old in another video. Anyway, you can search that. But yeah, so I was really kind of like, obviously you hear these things and you think, oh wow, crazy, that's good, he did a lot of work, he was a hard worker, whatever. You don't think of it till later when you're trying to be famous and you're like, that's crazy, I really didn't realize my dad, that to a lot of people, those are really unbelievable things, like really unbelievable that people can't even imagine doing. And here I was just a child thinking, oh, whatever, my dad is good, but everybody's not like he's not like amazing or anything. I just thought he was doing whatever. It was like he was good, but he wasn't like overly like super talented. But I mean, like, who performs in stadiums and builds buildings that are super huge and all this, right? It's really, really rare to see someone do all that and to know that that's your parent. And you're not really connected to it when you're growing up. I mean, I was really, everyone was probably like, your dad is like amazing, and I was like, oh, whatever. People didn't really, and then I mean, people were like, just like, because I always, when you hear your dad doing these things, you just think other people's dads are doing the same thing, and you just think that's common, whatever. Like, who doesn't do that, right? Like, everybody's dad is like that, right? Like, I mean, my dad can't be any different than any other dad, or why does that make my dad special when other people's dads are special too? So I really didn't have the sense where I was like knowing how valuable that was to have your father be that good. And I mean, growing up poor, I just never really. I mean, if we grew up as rich celebrity types, because he pretty much was a celebrity, but he wasn't paid like one. So if we grew up like a rich celebrity family, then maybe I would have seen it differently. But I was always like, well, my dad's poor, like he's done nothing, right? Like, well, not that I would say that. I always thought he accomplished a lot, but I wasn't really like, oh my God, he's accomplished so much. But he really did do like so much, and it's really unbelievable. I mean, nobody does that, right? Like, who does that? And I mean, I don't know how he felt about himself. I do all these videos and think, oh, I'm doing good, but I'm not thinking it's like stellar or anything, but I'm really, really good. I'm really amazing. And I don't really, think about it that much. I just do. And I'm a doing kind of person. I've always been like that. Like, whenever I had a job, it was always a doing type of job where I was doing a lot, where I was doing something, or I needed to do something, or I had one job where I worked 100 hours in a week. Like, part of it was sleeping, and I got paid for sleeping there, but I worked 100 hours in a week. I'm very much a hard worker, and I just had that natural ability. Like, for me, the more I do something, like the longer I do something, the more I get into it, and I don't stop. I get really into it, and then I keep going and really do a lot with it. Like, so far I've got 70 videos today, and I'm gonna do more. So people might be like, well, that's unbelievable. How could you do that many? But I just see it as like, and I mean, obviously, I know it's super talent and all that, but I just see it like, oh, well, I'm just doing my typical. People are like, your typical is more than everybody. So people might be like, holy, you are unbelievable. And I'm just like, oh, yeah, this is what I do. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye now. Bye, darling.